Today on the PROLIFE podcast, we're going to talk about the highs and the crazies of 2023. We need to talk about this. Let's get started. Happy Thursday, PROLIFE family. Got my coffee. Grab your coffee. Welcome to the table. It's a new year.
Whoa.
It's nuts, right?
Hey, welcome to 2024, everybody.
Whoa, we made it. They said it couldn't be done, but we made it in spite of the odds. My gosh. Hey, friends.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourselves to the friends at home?
Yes, Kim Schwartz, Director of Media and Communication.
Bailey Barton, Development Associate.
Brent Klingerman, IT Director and frontman of this circus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Well, 2023, thank God it's over. It's like that was a wild ride.
It was a time.
Listen, I love 2023.
Okay, that's true.
You had a good
point.
2023.
I got married.
There you go. It was a good year. You know,
It's ups, it's downs.
Text Right to Life turned 50 years old.
Exactly.
Boom, take that.
It's true. Being perpetually on the verge of World War III just kind of put a damper on it for me. I know I'm beyond draft age, but still. It's
right.
Like, ugh.
That's fair.
It just increases the daily anxiety.
We got some good meme fodder out of it, though.
Boy, did we.
So there's that.
Yes.
Pros and cons.
I'll take that. Meme fodder. Bailey got married. It was a good year.
Mm-hmm. Overall, thumbs up.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, we want to talk about some of the good stuff from 2023. Highlights from the show, highlights from the website, stories we were excited about. So, where would we like to begin, friends?
A story I really liked from 2023 was when Gavin Newsom decided to put billboards in Texas trying to market for abortions for women in Texas who are looking for abortions. He had billboards up that said, "Need an abortion? California is ready to help."
And then he put scripture on it.
Yes, there was scripture. What was it again? It was
something about, like treating your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right. I can't remember which exact.
Yeah. That's not the one I was looking at. There's two different ones. But anyways, he put those all over Texas because I guess him and his team gathered around and they're like, how do we get people to come back to California?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's make abortion more available and more drugs. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
the homelessness too.
More crime.
Yes.
Yeah, and people hate Texas because, abortion's unavailable there. And that's why people are moving here by the hundreds of thousands.
Exactly.
So anyways.
So our favorite part was...
My favorite part about this story is that we noticed that these billboards were going up and they were staying up for free because no one was replacing them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to gather some of our supporters. I think about 150 people donated, and we were able to replace 2 of these terrible abortion billboards with pro-life billboards.
Yeah.
And they read, "Life matters, born and unborn. Paid for by Texas Right to Life donors."
Beautiful.
Yes.
And I also like one of them that went up was in the city of Austin, like in the middle of Austin.
Yeah.
They loved that a lot.
Yeah.
It's such a win. Such a win for the babies.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, playing off of that reminds me of another recent event. There's that website, abortoffshore.com.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of forgot that was relatively recent, but that was a thing.
Wait, what does abortoffshore.com do?
It was basically go offshore to a boat that is in international waters where Texas laws don't apply.
In the Gulf of Mexico.
It was a baby murder cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what it was. Can we say that on YouTube? I'm gonna get.
Let's say some of the other words.
It was
that
an
YouTube
abortion
likes.
cruise.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially. Yeah, I think I can say that on YouTube and not get dinged for something. There'll probably be a disclaimer at the bottom or something like that. Well, some of us looked at that and went, "It's a nice domain name you got there. It'd be a shame if somebody bought it out from under you."
Because aboard offshore, the organization metaphorically went underwater.
That's yes, good one.
Thank you. So they're no longer committing abortions. I guess they ran out of money or something. I don't know. It was a real sketch operation to begin with.
It was very dark. They on their website, they had all these frequently asked questions, and one of them was, "Can I bring someone with me?" Talking about the woman seeking an abortion, and it said, "No, you have to come alone." And I just thought that was so. It's just so sad.
Red flag.
Get in my creepy boat, friends. That's what? No. What?
Yeah. So luckily, they went metaphorically underwater. And somebody who was at this table noticed that their website
registration was
URL.
So
somebody else could buy it. Who did such a thing?
It might forward to Texas Right to Life's pregnancy resources page.
Nice.
Weird how that happened.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Incredible.
So now,
modern problems require modern solutions.
True. You're the man for the job.
I certainly try.
There you go.
So,
what else we got?
Dad jokes were found to be beneficial for your children. That made me so happy that I'm not just obnoxiously trolling my children, but I am making them better adults.
Good, yes.
By perpetually embarrassing them and inoculating them to further embarrassment. Apparently that is the long-term effect. You just are so unfazed when you're an adult, and your dad was just full of dad jokes, I guess.
I think the summary of that article and their conclusion was yeah, kids are better able to handle embarrassment whenever their dads tell more dad jokes. And it's well, I think most kids probably wouldn't see that as a pro, but long term, you got to play the long game.
That's what I'm doing now. So when my wife just rolls her eyes, is seriously, stop it. I'm no, I'm making our children better adults.
Yeah. Tell her to trust the experts.
Trust the science.
Yes. Yeah. That'll help us in the YouTube algorithm. So whatever you were saying earlier, we just trust the experts, follow the science, whatever else there is. Okay.
Oh, well.
That's okay. This was also a very big year for sports. I, as the resident sports expert, nope, sorry, we were going there.
There's a dad joke right there.
Yep. Okay, so as you can tell, I'm not actually a sports expert, but there were a lot of big pro-life moments for athletes this year, and so just by obligation, I had to write about them. So anyways, this was a big year for the sports. We had, for the Super Bowl, I actually am a tangential fan of the Chiefs because I went to college with Patrick Mahomes. We were at the same college at the same time.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
He went to Texas Tech at the same time that I was there. Never saw him or anything, but still, we went to college, same place, same time.
Amazing.
But now for the rest of your life, you can be like, oh, Patrick, yeah, we were
exactly
college buddies.
That we went to college together. That is a statement of fact. However, so the Chiefs won the Super Bowl this year, and in both the game that sent them to the Super Bowl and in the Super Bowl itself, the kicker was the one who won the game for them. And their kicker, Harrison Butker, is a staunch pro-life advocate. He is on the board for some pro-life nonprofits. He's a very devout Catholic. And so I got to write a couple articles about that did really well on our website this year. So Harrison Butker, pro-life advocate, kicking the game-winning goal, and not just the game sending them to the Super Bowl, but in the Super Bowl itself is just God saying chef's kiss. Amazing. Then another sports story, J.J. Watt, who apparently is retired. Did not know that.
Oh my God.
I learned that, though, in writing the article, celebrating fatherhood and saying that it's really just been a blessing to his life, and especially taking care of his son as his son turned 1 this year, really promoting the gift of fatherhood. And then the last big sports story of the year was that an NFL quarterback, Phillip Rivers from San Diego Chargers, that's a thing. He had his 10th baby this year and was it's a miracle every single time, which you usually don't hear about that, right?
No, usually you hear stories like Jim Gaffigan's shtick about having a 4th child. It's imagine you're drowning and someone hands you a baby. And having 3 children, I can kind of understand that, but also for the 10th child. Now, a miracle every time, yes. Is it chaos? Yeah, probably so. I can't speak to 10 children.
Right.
But it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we keep doing this, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what's happening in the sports world. Stay tuned in 2024 for more sports.
You know, it doesn't surprise me though, because sports can be so family oriented and it's about gathering and being around your neighbors and stuff. So, I mean, I could totally see why people in the professional sports arena would be so pro family.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just encouraging because, like, normally when you hear celebrities talking about abortion, it's usually not good. But with, like, Phillip Rivers is pro-life, Harrison Butker is pro-life. Don't know J.J. Watt's stance, but he at least, like, appreciates fatherhood and likes having a baby, so that's a plus.
Yep.
And so it's like, okay, well, we're not the crazy ones. There are other people, like, in important realms of society that agree with us.
We're not the crazy ones. But speaking of crazy, 2023 had some crazy. We all know it had some crazy. We're going to talk about kind of the high points of the crazy after this break.
Great news. Texas Right to Life is celebrating our 50th birthday this year. This is half a century of victories that the Lord has given us. But God is not done yet. The battle for life is only increasing as the abortion industry is going underground to promote death and sell abortion. Join us in supporting Texas Right to Life's 50th birthday campaign and chip in with a gift today. Thank you for 50 years of saving lives. And friend, the best is yet to come.
Without warning, you or your loved one could end up in the emergency room where every second counts and your medical wishes matter more than ever. However, if your loved one doesn't have the right medical documents on hand, they may not be able to make decisions for you in a crisis. My Life Angels solves all of this by walking you through step by step in creating these important medical documents and storing them online securely for you and your family to access at any time. The service is only $7 a month, but use the link in our description for 20% off your initial subscription period. Don't let strangers make life and death decisions for you. Get the My Life Angels app today.
Welcome back, friends. Well, asked my dog the other day, what's 2 minus 2? Said nothing. Oh, that obedience school's paying off, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. My favorite dad joke you've ever told me was they figured out how to weigh a rainbow. Turns out it's pretty light.
Oh my gosh. Incredible.
Where do, rainbows go to jail?
I don't know.
Prism. It's a light sentence.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. Oh, 2024. I just need to try and get back in shape. The wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. It would be a big step forward.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You're really exercising your dad jokes here.
You know what makes it a dad joke?
I don't know.
When it becomes apparent. Okay, enough of that.
Amazing.
Enough of that. I mean, gosh. Okay.
Wow, that was next level. That was really good.
Bad. So bad. Crazy things, 2023. I think for me, the article about brain dead women as surrogates really took the cake. Like, to make it to the point of scientific article, it means there's a bunch of people who went, you know what we should do?
Use brain dead women as surrogates. That's what they said.
And people got paid to say, yeah! They probably are like related to the people who okayed Sharknado 5 or something.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
It's like,
Who okayed Sharknado 1? By the time you get to 5, you realize it's a joke.
you know what you've gotten into. And
Yeah.
You're just like,
Yeah.
sure, why not?
Yes,
It's
yes.
its own genre.
But on the brain dead thing, that's more
On the
important
brain
than
dead
Sharknado. Yeah, we had a really good conversation with Dr. John Seago talking about, like, yeah, this is kind of the direction that organ donation and brain death is going. Of like, well, if we're saying someone is brain dead, instead of saying that they're severely brain injured, that their life no longer counts, then basically like the scientific community saying, well, why not use their bodies for this other purpose? Like, why not just turn them into an object?
I feel like, yeah. I mean, would it work? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Should you do that? No.
Hard to know.
Does not pass any kind of like ethical test.
Right.
But-
Because like the whole idea for like people who are not Christian, the secular scientific community will say like, well, consent is the only thing that matters morally. So as long as they consent, as long as the woman consents beforehand, then it's fine. But that even poses problems on secular mentality, because it's like, well, if she consented, let's say 10 years ago, we don't know if that's still her belief now. So I don't know how they cross those barriers other than just ignoring them. That's probably what will end up
Can
happening.
you imagine that checkbox of the DMV?
Oh my gosh.
Like, would you be okay with
right,
using your body if you're brain dead as an incubator for another human?
No.
Which is so ironic.
That's not going to be popular.
It's ironic because that's like their pro-abortion language happening too. Like, you know, they're always saying stuff like, you can't treat women like this. And they're saying the wrong thing because we're not doing that to women.
Right.
But
then
here
they
are on the same kind of, same secular mindset. And they are treating women like that. It's just, that's really crazy.
Everyone stop. Don't do that. So go back and watch that episode for sure on should brain dead women be used as surrogates. That was a very enlightening conversation that we had.
Society, why are you so weird?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Somebody got something else to follow that up with.
I mean, speaking of surrogacy, right?
Yes. We hadn't talked about this, but it is circulating on lots of pro-life organizations' websites, is Paris Hilton and all of her frozen embryos. And we were talking about this before the show. We don't know if it's becoming more common to use surrogacy and IVF or if it's just more talked about. But you just see it all the time now with the Kardashians and Paris Hilton and people in those types of celebrity circles. And Paris Hilton specifically wanted to have a boy and a girl via IVF and surrogacy. And so they kept making boy embryos and they wanted a girl. So she's open about this. That's how we know this information. They have 20 frozen boy embryos.
Oh my gosh.
And
oh my gosh.
It's just like, wow, we're living in the future. That's, first of all, crazy, but second of all, really, really sad. I would just think, like, seeing, so they have one son. I would look at my son and be like, you're the lucky one.
Yeah.
There's several 20 more of you who are just pending forever.
Yeah.
Or for however long they're frozen.
I mean, basically forever.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, exactly. So
That's
anyways,
insane.
it's really crazy to see that be talked about more and more widely accepted. I think that as pro-lifers, we need to definitely be suspicious of this and think about the implications it could have, not only if that continues, but what it could also lead to.
Yeah.
Definitely designer babies are happening. I feel like people used to be like, no,
right.
That's like a sci-fi film. No, it's happening
We look
today.
around, we're kind of in the
Yep.
we live in the future, even though we were promised hoverboards, flying cars, and self-tying shoes.
Nope.
The truth is so much weirder. I don't know how we got here with some of these things. Who said, yeah, it sounds great, but here we are, and the future is stupid.
And you were saying that like Paris Hilton is just one of the many celebrities that are talking about their IVF and surrogacy experiences nowadays. I don't know the other celebrities though. Can you name them?
Well, I know that Khloe Kardashian and Kim Kardashian have both had surrogate pregnant. How do you even say this? Like, this is not even common in what I like my vocabulary. They both had surrogate pregnancies. I don't know.
Right.
They both use surrogates to have their children. I mean, other than that, though, I'm kind of blanking.
One of the Jonases did something that was very unpopular.
Wait, yes. It was. See, I'm not good with names, but I'm proud to not know all of the celebrity gossip.
Good.
But I do know, yes, one of the Jonas Brothers also did surrogacy, and I remember reading that it was because they couldn't get their schedules to line up, and then it would also like impact her acting career. So yeah, we're definitely seeing it on display, like in the elite.
They couldn't get their schedules
That's what I read.
to line up.
Here, take it all with a grain of salt because we don't know them personally. I don't know the Jonas Brothers.
What?
Bro,
but
you're too busy.
Oh
okay?
my gosh.
You can't.
But what is fact is that they did use a
Leave
surrogate,
it
and
alone.
that's how they had one of their children.
Oh my gosh.
So, and I feel like this is typically what we see is a bleeding edge,
Mm-hmm.
and then it becomes normal,
Mm-hmm.
especially within the last 20 years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so we were talking about that old movie Baby Mama with Tina Fey and who was that?
Old movie.
Amy
Well,
Poehler.
that's
Amy
not
Poehler.
old, but yes.
But I mean, it's been a minute, and
Right,
I feel
right.
like that was bleeding edge, and now we're in a time where people are talking about their surrogacy experiences,
Mhm.
and it's no longer bleeding edge. And my question is, how long does it take until it becomes more common with like middle class
Mhm.
and not just celebrities? Will it ever become common?
I mean, all things technology eventually gets cheaper as more money goes into it. The
Mhm.
cost of the process goes down, and then it just becomes common. Used to be only the elite had cell phones. Now
Yeah.
everybody's not just got a cell phone, but
Yeah.
a full computer in your pocket.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, anything like that, once there's enough money, it proves there's a viable market, and the cost comes down, and it becomes more common.
Yeah. It seems like that would be the case. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be like a conspiracy theorist, but like you look at what's happening and it's
Mhm.
uncommon to us now, like people like us. But I mean, it would be crazy for the day to come where one of my friends or something is like, yeah, we're going to have a surrogate.
Like, please don't.
Yes, we're gonna rent somebody.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's
bad.
accurate, but
Yes.
accurate.
Yeah.
That is what you're doing. You're renting another human temporarily for growing another human.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. And of course, like the desire to have a child is good. Like those
Mhm.
parents definitely like their heart is in the right place that like, yes, we want a child. We really value a new life to our family. And you do have to make sure though, like God put these boundaries upon us for a reason. They're for our own good. And so staying within those is ideal. And, one of the great stories that we had on the podcast this year was Tia and Kevin Edwards, who shared their adoption story. Like,
Yeah.
that was crazy. Definitely worth a watch to go back and look at that one.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
I would argue that the comment, their hearts are in the right place for people like Paris Hilton.
Yeah, probably
who are
not.
just going, I don't really want that one. That one's not the right whatever. That one's not the right gender. I want something different.
Yeah.
Does it come in pink? Like,
Sad, but true.
Well, but going back to, what's common and what's bleeding edge and then, what becomes the norm is, I've heard a lot of people say for a long time, like, oh, I would love to have a boy and a girl. Or we only want 1.5 kids. I'm just kidding. People don't actually
Right.
say that. But like
Yeah,
people are
right.
like, I want to have this many kids. And it's a very like controlled thing. And IVF surrogacy is like the most controlled you can get at this point.
Mhm. Well, speaking of disturbing, we're going to add on top of that AI, making it even more
Oh.
disturbing. That was one of my most shocking topics, I think, from this year was using AI to detect fetal abnormalities. And we were talking, like, I really like this concept that all technology, it's a tool. You can use it for
Mhm.
good or you can use it for bad.
Yeah.
Humans have a very bad record of using technology for something very terrible. And so this AI tool that they're using to, even in like regular pregnancies to detect for fetal illnesses, but even they're using that for IVF to screen for whatever the most, potent, I guess, embryo is, who's going to like the most likely chance to survive, like which of these babies is most likely to survive, and then implant that one. essentially using AI to decide who lives or dies.
Viable, the most viable.
There you
That's
go.
what they call it.
That's a good one. Yeah. And then, so that was a like interesting angle on it. And then the angle of using AI to screen for fetal illnesses, like that can be a good thing, and it can help parents know what to expect. It could even cause the parents to have some kind of intervention early on that might
Right.
help the child actually like beat this illness, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But realistically, this AI, if it becomes mainstream and using it to detect for fetal illnesses, it's probably going to lead to more abortions, which is what we're
Yeah.
really worried about.
Yeah, which I am incredibly thankful that this technology did not exist in the 90s. Whenever I was born, my mom was told that I was going to have some sort of abnormality, and she never considered, abortion. And I basically turned out completely normal.
There you go.
I had to have one kidney removed, but
What?
totally fine.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I imagine I've had a totally normal, healthy life besides that one surgery when I was very, very young. But yeah, but that's what they said, like the likelihood of this, the likelihood of that. And I can't imagine what would it be like now with technology like this.
Yeah.
And we're so trusting of technology too, more trusting than ever.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine what could have been,
Man.
I'm
I'm so
you're
thankful
here.
for my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to know whether or not you should trust technology, all of your real hardcore nerd friends are still wearing analog watches. So,
Good point. All right, well, let's end there on a happy note then, because we could devolve very quickly if we wanted to. But we'll end on a happy note to ring in 2024. Right? Because you're the happy note. Because
Okay,
you're
yeah, I was like,
Bailey's here.
it's
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
Bailey's here is the happy note.
That's where I was going with this.
Shout out to my mom and my dad.
True.
Oh, I'm so happy I was born in the end of the we don't know, so we're just gonna ultrasound was not a normal popular thing.
Oh,
when
I know.
was
Yeah.
nobody could see anything.
Right.
It was like, there's something there.
Yeah. Yep.
I know. I was asking my grandparents about their birth experiences recently, and I just I totally project what we know now onto their experiences,
Mhm.
and they didn't know the gender of their baby
Nope.
until they were born.
Yeah.
There was that just blew my mind. I was like,
It's
how?
just, you got to pick two names. It's like, well, it's
Good point.
boy and if it's girl, and
And then
we'll see.
spelling used to be a lot more unique because there was no Googling and stuff. Like, how is this name usually spelled? My grandma
This
was
explains a lot.
exactly. She was talking about how she kind of spelt my aunt's name in an odd way. Well, now they know it's odd, and they didn't know then. She's
Yeah.
like, I thought it was how you spelt it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but now people do that on purpose. They
yeah,
can
people do it on
Google
purpose
it,
now, yeah.
and it's like I can't think
I
of
want it to be weird.
right.
So
Yeah.
I think that's we Google for baby names now, and I think that's why you had a lot of those old school Bible names.
Oh, because you don't
they
have to
seem
Google
have kind
it.
of
Yeah, you just
disappeared.
open
It's
it
like
up.
why would I do that? I've got this awesome book here. Let me
Yeah.
just find a name for a character that I really liked.
Okay. Wait, you're saying that people do that now, or people did that then
People
because you didn't
probably
have
it's
Google?
more of a used to do that.
Okay.
We're in a more post-Christian society now.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That's good. It's like I got the spelling right here.
Yep.
Got you.
Yeah.
Life hack.
Read your Bible.
Ultimate life hack. All cheat codes unlocked.
True.
We can't wait to hear all of the stories.
Yeah. That's
A year from now,
Whoa.
good and well, I don't want. I can't.
Right,
I can
right.
wait to hear bad stories.
Any predictions for 2024?
Yeah, let's not, because we're gonna get into conspiracies.
And get canceled
Yes.
again.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, friends. Hopefully, you had a great 2023, and here's to an awesome 2024 together. In 2 weeks, we'll do this again. Like, subscribe, so you know when we drop this in 2 weeks. We'll see you next time.